It's Marla Martinson and Karen Dahlman. Woo!
Woo!
We are doing an episode today on crystals and healing. And we're just having a little coffee chat because we wanted to talk about the power of crystals. A lot of you guys out there have asked us how to raise your vibration, to use the Ouija board, and what other tools you can use, what do you put around it, if anything. So we thought we'd talk about that today. So Karen,
that's right.
Karen, do you use, when you use the board, do you use anything around it, or do you just go directly to the work there?
I don't use anything around it these days. There have been times when I have. Although, however, I always light a candle. That's one of the things I really like to have. And sometimes I'll burn incense and sage. But I do have my crystals. And I was talking to Marla before we started the show how it was important and has always been important to me to use my stones in my life in other areas. So I have all kinds of stones all over my house. I collect them, I find them on the ground, I bring them in, and then I also purchase them. And I think stones are just can be so important to an aspect of augmenting your spiritual life and your energies. Now, when I do the board, I have the energies at a point where I don't necessarily need extra augmentation, although I do enjoy wearing and using some of my extra augmentation, such as this beautiful crystal that I have. It's a clear crystal. It has a wonderful history to it. My mother owned it, bought it many, many years ago, at least 30 years ago, and then she gave it to me, and I wear it along with my little Ouija necklace. And I'll wear this
I'm
often.
wearing my Ouija necklace. Look.
See? It's like Marla's. Yeah.
Yay.
Exactly. And I'll wear this often when I do the board or doing interviews. I like it. Mm-hmm. But my biggest thing that I love to wear is my labradorite ring, and I had this made specifically for WouijaCon. And this stone here has great properties for people that are shamans or diviners or reaching into other realms. It helps you understand the truth. It helps you to work with unseen forces in a very safe way. Helps develop your intuitive abilities and psychic abilities. So I wear this ring a lot now when I use the Ouija board. It's just a reminder of those energies already within me.
Labradorite.
But how about you?
And it comes from Labrador, Canada. That's some of these stones are named after the places that they were discovered in. Yeah. And I wear my lapis. My lapis bracelet.
Oh,
and lapis
beautiful.
was very popular in Egypt, ancient Egypt. You'll see that they did a lot of art and buried kings with it and all of that. And it's also very connects you with the higher realms and everything. So it's just beautiful. And I bought it in Williamsburg, Brooklyn last year when I was in New York, and in a one-of-a-kind shop where all the pieces were one of a kind. And I get more compliments on this, and I just feel so powerful when I wear it.
Yeah, I've seen you wear that before when we've done the board work.
Oh, yeah. And then
So Marla, what does that do for you? You're talking about confidence, and so what is it? Is it the stone? Is it you? What is it that allows this vibration to raise? We get that question a lot related to the stones and also related just to our own energy. Does it raise your vibration? What does it do for you?
Well, it is interesting that, stones come from the earth, and the earth, so they do have their own intelligence. I mean, like if you take of course, the clear quartz crystal, they use these in radios and TVs and cell phones, the crystals, because they can hold information.
They actually vibrate, too.
They have a vibration. They hold information. They can be programmed with information. So you want to program your crystals, clear them, cleanse them, and you can find out how to do that. There's tons of videos on YouTube or, articles on Google and books, how to do that, because it's a lifelong learning. I mean, I'm a crystal healer. I'm certified in that, but I'll tell you, there are so many properties, uses, and healing properties to them that you have to have an encyclopedia for a brain to remember it all, right?
You do.
But so if someone's just starting out with a crystal, it's nice to use the clear quartz, and that can also align all the chakras. It's just wonderful. I have this beautiful piece here. As far as when I first started out on the board, I'd use it with my friend Julie, and we wanted to be protected because we didn't know what we were doing. We weren't afraid of it, but we thought, well, we better just in case, right? And so not only saying our prayers and our clearing the space and everything, I have my Saint Charbel. He's a Catholic saint. He's a Lebanese saint and somebody I work with. He's a healer, and I got this in Mexico. And I put him next to the board. I have the beautiful Mother Mary, which I bought in Barcelona, and I'll put her
very nice.
there. Look, with the little rose, it's just so beautiful. She's so well done.
Oh yeah.
And then
very
I bought this, and I have my Jesus, which is he's from Mexico City. My husband's from Mexico City, so I've been there so many times, and all the saints are everywhere. So I love to collect my Mexican bought saints, and then I'll put around, of course, the clear quartz. I love my, okay, wait, am I going to forget the name? Okay, I'll come back to this.
It's rose quartz, isn't that rose
this,
quartz?
This is carnelian.
Oh, I couldn't see it. Okay, carnelian. Yeah, I see that now. Beautiful.
Oh, it's a beautiful rose carnelian.
It's gorgeous.
Heart carnelian. And it was used even in Roman breastplates in war just because of the power of it. And it's for love and it's for power. And I love to have that. And then, so I will put also some amethyst there, whatever I feel. And then, magnetic hematite is, look at how that goes.
Well, what's really good about hematite is that's a stone to use for grounding.
Yes.
So if you are new at doing the board, that would be a great stone to start with for grounding. Now, again, we're talking about the properties of stone. You really have your own abilities to bring your own energy to the board. But if this helps augment it, by all means do it. And hematite's a great stone to start with.
Exactly. So I like to put those things around. Now, often I just do it alone, and I'll just sit here or on the couch and I'll get my board out. I'm not going to put these things around. There's nowhere even to set them. But that's how I did start with them, and I always have them. I don't know if you could see it, but I have all my magical stuff back there, my altar with all of my crystals and my feathers and my singing bowl and my candles and my drum, because I do healing work, and it's just so powerful. I love, for anybody out there, I'm a matchmaker, so I'm always trying to infuse self-love and love when I'm doing healing. And rose quartz, and here's a big piece of
that's for the heart. It really
heart
helps raise your heart
chakra
vibration.
This is unpolished, and then I've got a polished heart, which is nice.
Very nice.
And then for the angelic realm, the selenite. The selenite, look at that beautiful selenite heart. And sometimes I sleep with it in my hand. I'll just sleep with that. And they do have vibration. And once you start getting more sensitive to the energy and working with the stones, they become your friends.
They do, and I have a beautiful large selenite piece in my room that it has a light inside of it. Oh. It's huge, and I light it up at night, and it releases that energy, that vibration, and I just feel so safe. And selenite's a great one for also raising the higher vibrations, your dreams, your intuition. So I work a lot with those stones because of the work I do with the unseen forces.
Exactly.
So it's good to have these extra little friends with us, and they do have messages for you. Very true.
My crystal ball, I haven't. It was a gift from my neighbor, and I haven't done anything with it yet, but I got this stand for it last night, so it's a little
very
tricky.
Nice.
But anyway, that's really exciting. So I love the crystals, and Karen and I were talking before we got on the video about people, and I see this in the groups. You guys ask a lot on Facebook. How do you raise your vibration to be able to use the board? And it can take a long time. And for me, again, it was, I brought this up before, but some people may only be seeing this video and not have heard it. But it was really once I started getting the attunements, the frequency, the energy attunements to higher dimensions and other frequencies, which is Reiki, life force energy healing. I got the reconnection, which is another form of energy attunement. And once I did that, which I didn't know, I wasn't doing it for that purpose, but I was doing it because I was becoming a healer, and I just love getting more attunements. It just feels great. And that's when the board started moving. That's when everything started happening for me. So it was obviously opening me up, which for you, that wasn't, you weren't attuned with those things, were you? It was more...
Well, when I was little, this is an example. I find things on the ground. This is a wonderful quartz I found in Quartz Hill up here in California. I've always collected stones, not knowing why. And my whole family collected stones. I had boxes of rocks under my bed at any given time, and show and tell was about either insects or boxes of rocks. So I always collect them when I went camping or wherever we went. So I always had an affinity towards stones and rocks, and the rough ones like this. And I love this one. And this one sits on my altar because it represents the earth element, and I found it. And so it's like a gift to me, and I have little ones that match it. But, I think because I always had the stones and the feathers and the bones and all these fabulous energy pieces of talismans and sacred objects around me, I think it augmented my work on the board. Yeah, I started at the age of 8. Nobody was talking about using stones back then. But I do think it's because I was successful with it because I had all these other things in place. Beautiful. Now look, she's got her feathers.
Okay, so talking about feathers, so
Yes,
when I take my dog for a walk, I always find feathers, and look what I did. I stuck them in this little genie lamp, and I've got all these feathers.
So what does that represent to you? What does that mean to you having that talisman?
Well, I love birds. Like on the back, just outside my bedroom, I have a little cafe table and chairs, and I've set up bird seed in a beautiful little dish with little birds and then some water, and there'll be 5, 6, 7 birds every morning there all day long, coming and eating. A squirrel comes, a big blue bird comes, and they're so magical. And these beautiful feathers, to think that this grows out of them. I still have a feather from my parakeet Tommy that I had as a child, and he died. I was 15, and I still have one of his feathers, so they'll last forever. So for me, they're magical and sacred. They came off the bird. I just love them. I just can't pass one up. I found this one the other day. Look at how pretty that one is.
That's a beautiful
hawk feather. And then this one with some blue I picked up this morning. It has some, so I have a whole
gorgeous
chair. I just pretty soon. And then I collect pine cones. I mean, my husband thinks I'm off my rocker. He's like, how many? Where can we fit these?
See, I think the point here we're trying to share is that you're going to vibrate with what you like. You're going to resonate with what you like. So when you're picking your feathers, your rocks, your stones, all these extra talismans and objects, pick what you really resonate with. Yeah, read about the properties, as we've shared some of them today, but also pick what makes you feel good. You raise your vibrations at the board when you feel good.
Yes.
When you're in a state of joy, happiness, receptivity, feeling good, high, all those things you can feel. And if these objects help you feel that, my goodness, yes, bring them into the session, use them, and then go forth on the board. And that in itself will raise your vibration because these other items will help augment it. Yeah, that's a great thing to remember, everybody. Pick what you resonate with and use it.
Exactly. All right, so we'll leave it at that, and happy boarding.
Happy boarding.